The Gamebridge Super League is off and running in Week 2 of Season 2. Tonight, Dallas Trinity welcomes Brooklyn FC into the Cotton Bowl for a Saturday night showdown. Great weather, plenty of energy, and two teams hungry to continue their winning ways to start the season. Alongside longtime college coach Eric Dobransky, I'm Bridget Howard, joining you on the call tonight. All right, Eric, it was a fun first week. We saw goals in every match, and you could tell the players, coaches, fans, the excitement around the league has continued to blossom.
And both these teams coming off big wins, and momentum's real. So these are two teams that want to continue stacking performances. Brooklyn holding that 2-0 advantage up until that 94th minute. Then Dallas Trinity, 2 second-half goals to secure their 3 points.
Big starts to the season for both of these squads. Acting head coach Chris Petroselli for Dallas. He's at the helm, no stranger to the role, having stepped into that position last year as well in addition to his GM duties. He told us this team is all about keeping the ball and controlling the game this year.
Their identity is built on the ball. They keep it, they circulate it, and they do it in order to control the space and the flow of a match. They play to their pace. When this team is clicking on the ball, they are able to move opponents around, secure space higher up the field in key moments, and play matches on their terms.
Well, not only is there continuity on the field and in the leadership, Dallas also has it on the pitch. 14 players returning from last year's squad, including captain Amber Wisner.
Continuity means chemistry and understanding. That kind of stability is an advantage. When you have a core group of returners, those habits, partnerships are already in place. Those allow you to hit the ground running towards that common goal and have clarity in those roles and responsibilities.
Well, if you've watched Dallas at all, you know the name Allie Thornton, the reigning Golden Boot winner. She's just doing her thing, picking up right where she left off last season, scoring in the season debut.
She does, and she does it with subtle nuances that make her so difficult to slow down, has incredible recognition of how and when to disguise her runs, and then you add in her finishing quality, and she's a consistent threat in and around the box.
Well, both teams are coming off wins in Week 1. Brooklyn captured its first home win at Maimonides Park against Tampa Bay. They're seeing success early because of their physicality and this newfound spark with a new head coach.
And we saw that initial glimpse of what this group wants to do and how they want to punish teams with relentless pressure. But the key is to be collective and connected about it, because pressure without intent can lead to self-inflicted problems. But that disruptive nature throughout the 90 minutes helped Tampa Bay Sun scoreless until the 94th.
Well, this team looks much different than the one we saw just a few months ago. Only 6 players remain from the inaugural squad. They were busy this offseason.
They undergone major changes, new head coach steering the project, which means fresh philosophy and identity being built in real time. In this reshaped roster, the challenge is going to find that cohesiveness early on, but with the experience they have, this is a team that has real potential.
Well, Leah Scarpelli is the exception to the newbies. She is no stranger to Brooklyn. She's a steady presence on this back line, has been over the year, and a key piece of the puzzle for Brooklyn's success.
When you're reshaping a roster, you need a foundation, and Scarpelli is one of those foundational players. Her stability at outside back is crucial as the team grows. She features that two-way role at a high-level outside back, winning duels, but also inserting herself in the attack.
Well, both teams are coming off Week 1 wins. Who will continue their winning ways tonight? Will it be Dallas ready to show out for the fans, or Brooklyn looking to play spoiler? It's going to be a fun one here at the Cotton Bowl. You're watching the USL Super League on Peacock.
Nice shot. Let's play.
Oh, look. Great blue heron.
Oh, your favorite.
You know, when I go, I'd like to leave some money to the local bird conservancy.
Oh, that's a beautiful legacy to leave.
Doesn't count. Generous, but final wishes need to be more finalized. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy to create a legally valid, state-specific document that actually counts. Ooh, what's that?
That's a duck.
Start your will at trustandwill.com now and make it count.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gamebridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, graded assists. Gainbridge, graded assists for your savings.
Welcome back to the Cotton Bowl here in Dallas, where it's time to meet tonight's starting lineups presented by UT Southwestern Medical Center. Ranked by U.S. News and World Report as the #1 hospital in Dallas-Fort Worth for the 9th consecutive year, UT Southwest Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of Dallas Trinity FC. All right, well, up first, it's Dallas. Hannah Davison out tonight, which is one big player missing tonight for that side.
And with Hannah Davison out, the question was always going to be is how and when does Dallas play out of the Brooklyn's pressure? And it starts with the decision-making and match management of McCutcheon, Guidry, and Riley Foster in goal.
Well, as for Brooklyn, it's a new team like we've talked about, so they're trying to build that chemistry quickly. What do you make of this lineup for Tomasz Tangerina?
Well, we saw it in opening weekend. Priority one is that chemistry defensively. Now facing their first road test of the season, they want that defense to travel. Garziano, Lewis, and Loving lead that line in that press. Then that back line anchored by Kelsey Hill. And then Bree Norris was terrific in her first outing last week's win over the defending champions Tampa Bay Sun.
A big win and a great start to the season. There's a look at Brooklyn head coach Tomasz Tangerina in his first season at the helm for this Brooklyn side. The Dallas fans are eager to watch their team out on the pitch tonight here at the Cotton Bowl. It's a gorgeous 78 degrees, a little overcast, not too hot. Perfect night for some soccer. Dallas sporting their gold kits this evening, and as for Brooklyn, they're in their black and gray pinstripe uniforms. Former head coach, longtime college coach Eric Dobransky alongside Bridget Howard on the call with you this evening, and we are underway from the Cotton Bowl. It's Brooklyn traveling down to Dallas to take on Dallas Trinity in week 2 of the Gainbridge Super League. Dallas Trinity moving from right to left on your screen. Brooklyn moving from left to right. Our head official tonight is Alex Billiter. The Bogagoo got a foot on it, but lost it, and Brooklyn quickly turns it over. Sam Kroger unable to control it. Both of these teams coming off wins in week 1. Tonight's matchup is the first of 4 meetings this season between Dallas and Brooklyn.
You can see this pressure from Dallas right from the start. And this is going to be the fascinating aspect of this matchup. How do you play against a team that last week it was all about the pressure, it was all about the physicality, disrupting play, not allowing your opponent. This being a prime example, Loving wrapping up the attacking player, making sure that there is no forward progress.
Sierra Hinson on this near sideline. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by UT Southwestern, the official healthcare partner of Dallas Trinity. Brooklyn looking healthy here this evening in week 2. And as for Dallas, it's Yenny Danielson and Lexi Massimo, both battling with injuries. And we mentioned Hannah Davison off the top. She isn't hurt, out with an excused absence, but again, a big missing piece for this Dallas team. We've got a player down for Brooklyn. didn't see anything there.
Yeah, so early in the match, and it didn't look like it came from any contact with the tackle, and I don't know if it was on the ball. So this Brooklyn coaching staff is already put in a position where they're asking if they've got to make the substitution.
So we'll take a look back at what happened here. Hope Breslin had the ball, but it wasn't there. It was up top at the top of your screen. It looked like it was Leah Scarpelli who tucked to the ground. She'll step off for just a moment. So just a collision there off the ball.
We mentioned her in the open. Possesses that high quality ability to not only be effective in those 1v1 duels defensively, but how many attacking actions she involves herself in. You saw it right there. Climbs the field at a rapid rate, knows when and where to provide that support and those numerical advantages out wide. And that's a big part of what the two teams want to do pressure-wise, because when you can disrupt or you can affect and influence the timing of the passes, the clearances, the services, then you're disrupting the timing. And that's something that becomes crucial as games wear on and they take shape and they become a bit more defined on who's on the ball, where they're on the ball.
Well, there's our first look at the goalkeeper for Dallas Trinity. It's Riley Foster, the West Virginia product. Started and played the full 90 in the season opener last weekend, had one save, conceded one goal. And it was like an exciting first week around the Gainbridge Super League. There was a goal scored in every match, and there was also at least one header goal in each match. Fun fact there, but that's pretty impressive.
That is, and it just speaks volumes to where these teams are progressively in the attacking third. I mean, obviously it's week one, so getting accustomed to a playing style and identity from your opponent are difficult. But when you're creating those kind of opportunities at such a high rate that early on in the season, you can tell that all these teams in the league have put a premium on being solid in both boxes, finding that balance immediately. Each team's going to have to grow into a season. That's just a part of the longevity of getting results through a season. But when you can kind of get it started right off the bat and be effective defensively like Brooklyn was last week, and then you can start building in what you look like in a sustained environment in the attacking third.
This ball played up and collision in the box. Riley Foster comes up with it. That was Jordan Thompson coming in hard. Thompson, one of those new additions to this Brooklyn team, played 86 minutes in the opener and win over Tampa Bay, the reigning league champions. So it's almost a tale of two sides tonight, tale of two teams, right? We've got 6 returning players for Brooklyn, and then on the flip side, Dallas, they've got 14. And they added in 9, 2 academy players. Brooklyn hoping to get out of trouble here. They'll play it out of bounds. Thompson unable to check back quickly enough. So Sierra Hinson, the Texas product, throws it in.
And that'll be the question for Brooklyn, is how do they use that defensive posture, that defensive identity, and grow into their identity on the ball? How do they play through the thirds? When and where do they play through the thirds? As you see another foul there at midfield. That seems to be the area, the common thread for Brooklyn right now, is the conscious effort to not allow them to play forward, not allow them to face forward and go any opponents, because they had a lot of fouls in match 1. And now we've already seen it here at midfield. They've kind of minimized some of the threat that Dallas has going forward with halting play.
You mentioned those fouls. They had quite a bit of them in that first matchup. They lead the league in fouls so far on the year with 18 conceded, and they also rank first with 4 yellow cards, so physicality is certainly going to be a factor in this one tonight. And acting head coach Chris Petrucelli told us that. He knew. He said, listen, this is going to be a physical game. They try to impose their will on you. How do we handle that?
And once trends start to make themselves available as the season goes on, and you see these teams week by week, as you see acting head coach Chris Petrucelli, you have that piece that opponents think about. So the first couple weeks, you could lead the league in fouls and yellow cards, and you don't necessarily need that continuously throughout week after week, because then you have opponents going into matches, okay, I need to release earlier. I need to get myself in position so I can play a bit quicker. And then, so already you're affecting the game without having to draw or have the amount of fouls that you've had in week 1, week 2, week 3. And so already you're having that heavy influence on the tempo and flow of each match.
Emma Loving active already in this first half, 9 minutes in. That battle in the midfield between Loving and Winnie Bellata, and Allie Thornton picks this ball up that just trickles past the back line on the ground towards goal wide. That's where Allie Thornton can punish you. She's able to get in behind back lines, and that ball just seemingly ended up at her feet. Kylie Delaney.
This is a scary sight right here, but Kroger does a tremendous job of closing that gap, making sure that Allie Thornton knew that she could not go in all alone on goal. Look at this press from Dallas. Good turnover here.
We'll pick it off here quick. That was Celie Strawn, the Academy player, one of them on this Dallas team. Tamara. Smart Guidry plays it out to Hinson. Sierra Hinson on this near sideline, a player that Petrucelli pointed out to us. They said they converted her to left back late last year. She played a couple matches back there, and now she's there full time. And when she's in that position, they're going to use her strengths. They want to use her ability to get forward, and we're seeing that in the early goings.
Yeah, it makes that adjustment a bit easier when you're trying to implement some of those defensive principles and those roles and responsibilities, but you're also giving the green light to go do what you want to do. Go forward, play to your strengths, make sure that your involvement is high and heavy when the ball gets in the attacking half. And I do want to add some. We obviously mentioned Hannah Davidson being out. Amber Wisner is playing center back with Guidry, so they have moved Bellata to drop back. She was playing a bit of an advanced role in that first week. And then McCutcheon is sitting in that midfield as well.
Well, and a big factor too was Deborah Abiodun being recalled back to Washington Spirit. She was on loan last season here in Dallas, and she was recalled earlier this week, and Petrucelli told us last week he thought she was the best player on the field last weekend. The Bogagoo on the near sideline, looking for help, gets the favorable deflection, and it will be a corner kick brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank, the first of the night for Dallas Trinity.
And you can see why for Brooklyn the idea of disruption is high on their list of things to do to Dallas, because when they are faced up and going at you, they occupy all the right spaces and they ask all the difficult questions. Running an early corner here.
Winnie Bellata, former SMU college standout. Played with Spokane Zephyr last year, now in Dallas. Sends this ball into the box, backside, headed in! Dallas on the board early. Maya McCutcheon with her first goal with the club. Added this offseason, and what a beauty from Balada.
And it all starts with the service, and then you add in the subtle movement right in front of McCutcheon. It freezes the Brooklyn defenders. It does pull some of them out of position, and it creates this terrific pocket for McCutcheon just to occupy. Gets that header just right to put this by Bree Norris, who was terrific last week.
Maya McCutcheon, the Murphy, Texas native, puts Dallas on the board here in the 14th minute. She started last weekend versus Spokane. How about this ball up to Abogagu? Abogagu across the box, Thornton's there, deflected. Oh, so many opportunities for Dallas, but Brooklyn stands strong.
And again, you're seeing prime examples of the channels that they are occupying. This ball played in with terrific pace, but what a save there by Bree Norris. Obviously, Allie Thornton not getting all of that take, but then the effort for Brooklyn to get back behind the ball and not concede a second goal just moments after conceding the opener.
But that move from Sierra Hinson, collected by Norris.
And you can see the qualities and characteristics as a player that she possesses, that you want that player in and around the box. You want that player 20, 25 yards away from goal, being that playmaker, isolated 1-versus-1.
So Dallas finding their footing here at home. Poor touch, picked up by Loving. Hinson works back. Throw in for Brooklyn.
We see it all the time in games. Those fine margins, those little moments that in the moment, they don't speak to how this game plays out, but you go back and you look at a play that just happened where Brooklyn gets back and doesn't allow that second goal in. Does that scenario start to work itself into this match where instead of a 2-0 advantage, it stays at 1-0?
Let's go back to Maya McCutcheon. We talked with Chris Petrucelli earlier this week, and what did he tell us? He said, she's physical, she's strong, and she's really good in the air. And I think we're seeing that.
And that corner, with all the movement in and around Maya McCutcheon, she didn't really have to move too much. She really just directed that back on frame, had a perfect header, and the delivery, again, from Balada was pinpoint, exactly what you're looking for, because it was accompanied by the pressure that Dallas Trinity have imposed, their ability to win the ball higher up the field, to shrink the amount of space that they have to go up the field and create.
We'll stay up to date with the Gamebridge Super League. Sign up for the Super newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GameBridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Minute now at the Cotton Bowl. Dallas Trinity up 1-0 thanks to Maya McCutcheon. Last season at home, Dallas had 7 wins, 2 losses, 5 draws. They were dominant, and when you look back at that spring slate, against Brooklyn particularly, they were absolutely dominant against this Brooklyn side. In 2 matches over the course of 10 days, they outscored them 9-0.
And really started that spiral that Brooklyn saw that second portion of the season. Saw them shut out 8 of the final 14 matches. 2 of those were against this Dallas Trinity side, who overall in the season were fantastic offensively, actually in both boxes. Goals for 43, goals against 32, had the 9 clean sheets all of last year.
This ball cut inside at Scarpelli. And Winnie Bellata putting her body on the line. Scarpelli is going to get a talking to.
Just a player that does not shy away from those altercations here on the ball. Quick, decisive move, but then as soon as she gets dispossessed, making sure that Dallas has no outlet, no ability to quickly transition down the field.
This ball played over the top. Ibokagu trying to cut it back. And it will be another corner kick for Dallas Trinity, brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank. So it took 1 corner kick for Dallas to get on the board. Now, minutes later, we'll get another one.
Yeah, these are areas that you fine-tune through the beginning of a season. So Brooklyn defensively, you're gonna fine-tune what those areas that you're covering right now, but then Dallas Trinity, you're going to continue to fine-tune the runs and the areas that you're able to create.
Bellata to the back post. Headed high and over the goal. Here's a first look at the captain, Amber Wisner, formerly Amber Brooks. She announced this summer that this would be her last season as a professional soccer player. Has had a storied career, started off at the University of North Carolina. Prior to graduation, they retired her number 22, 2-time All-American, 2-time national champion. She's had over 10,000 professional career minutes played. And you talk about continuity, to be able to have a player like her come back to this Dallas Trinity team this year. But not only that, when you look at last season, the foundation that she's able to set as a veteran player was really big for this Dallas side. Gear up for year 2. Rep Dallas Trinity FC with the latest kits, scarves, and merch. Visit shop.dallastrinityfc.com today and show your colors all season long. Riley Foster hasn't been tested really at all so far in this first half.
Yeah, here early on, 22 minutes in, we have 6 shots for the Dallas Trinity, 0 for Brooklyn. 3 of those shots on target. So they're being efficient with the moments that they are able to break into the final third and create.
Petroselli telling us this week that Foster, she got this start versus Spokane, and she's one of those goalkeepers that's great with her feet. Her distribution, the ability to hit a ball long. So we'll have a hydration break. It's hot in Dallas. I don't know if you've been to Dallas in the summer, but you'll be sweating.
Yeah, and going back really quickly to Riley Foster, her ability to play with her feet and initiate that possession style, that ball dominant style that Dallas Trinity like to play, it's so important when you're breaking a team's press, because when a team wants to condense space, be compact, and you have the ability to unlock higher space, to clip a ball over the top, and it's intentional passes, and it's a bit of direct play in the verticality, but you're doing it with that purposeful play with the service that allows your teammates to open up the field and utilize the space appropriately, and that's a big factor when you're playing the way that Dallas Trinity want to play.
There's Maya McCutcheon, the goal scorer, but let's talk about Cameron Lancaster. Her mom has got all the right gear working right now. How about that shirt?
That is terrific.
Lancaster, the Texas native, played at TCU in college. I'm sure being able to keep her roots here in Texas, be able to continue her playing career has been important to have that family support. But there's another look at the goal from McCutcheon.
And you see the movement from Allie Thornton, who's obviously going to command a lot of that attention, bringing some defenders to that near post. Brooklyn just gets caught ball watching a bit on that corner, and Maya McCutcheon just able to tuck that one away. But good deception on the movement in and around the goal scorer.
McCutcheon, another one of those Texas players on this Dallas Trinity team. Played in college at Oklahoma and West Virginia. Big 12 champ in 2022. Select, the official match ball supplier of the Gamebridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
And that's something that when you talk to Chris Petroselli and everybody around the organization, they were very purposeful about, was building an organization and a team that was rooted in this community and had ties to this community. And that was something that was very, very important when they built this organization. Something that continues to be at the forefront.
Well, and not only that, they also, this offseason, they brought in 9 players, 2 of which were Academy players. Texas, being a Texas native, a big part of that and a big importance to them, but they really wanted to get more athletic. That was the #1 priority for them when they looked at this roster heading into the offseason. This was a playoff team last year. They had an incredibly successful season. But they wanted to get more athletic, and they think that they've done that.
And when you do that and you're a possession-oriented team, it just allows you to utilize space more often and in a sustainable fashion, as we see another foul here.
So a quick sub for Brooklyn. Rebecca Cook, number 10, now on for Na-Young Shin. So a short day for Sheen. Rebecca Cook.
Rebecca Cook, a player that came on about midway through that second half in that 2-1 win against the Tampa Bay Sun. Obviously played valuable minutes in seeing that match out.
Long ball up to Hinson. Right on target. But Loving gets a toe poke.
We're going to see Loving drop into midfield. She did start at that right forward position. And now, with the addition of Rebecca Cook to the 11, she'll go that center forward position, apply that pressure. Sophia Lewis has moved out to the right. Garziano still on that left side.
Garziano, we haven't said her name much here this evening, but she was a huge piece of the offense for Brooklyn last season. She had 6 goals in the inaugural season. Sam Kroger looking for her out wide.
And that's somebody that Brooklyn is going to want to get involved, to your point, And I think that's why we've seen some early involvement from Scarpelli with the runs into the attacking half. Can you put yourself in a situation where you're creating those 2v1s, those numerical advantages that do present some challenges to Dallas Trinity, but it's that final action that Brooklyn's missing right now. It's that final decision when they're getting into the attacking half, they're getting dispossessed. And a bit of it is starting with some of the frantic play that they're playing with from the build, because the turnover is just like that.
Rosiano plays it up, but just out of reach. Throw in for Dallas.
And that's another thing that pressure does. It forces the opponent to struggle gauging the pace of play through the thirds. When you're playing with such a frantic pace to play out of pressure, you tend to play with that pace through the other thirds, and sometimes you miss passes like that. You make poor decisions. You go on the dribble when you should have passed. You pass instead of going on the dribble. There's just so many scenarios that play themselves out when you're playing at one tempo, and when you can kind of see a rhythm set in, that's when teams can play out of the back, then realize in the midfield it requires something different. And then obviously once you get to the final third, everything gets ramped up because there's so limited time and space. It needs to be quality, it needs to be with urgency.
Well, let's zoom out and look at the broader picture as well, right? This is a new team. This is just their second game playing together. 100%. It is going to take time for this team to find chemistry, find their rhythm offensively. Defensively, it's never an easy task to develop a back line, but when you look at the attack, that takes a lot longer to come together.
100%. You bring up a great point, because now not only are you building a team with newer players with a reshaped roster, but now you're facing challenges in real time. Good touch into space, good defending, but you're dealing with some of these match challenges in real time. So now, last week, you're up 2-0 all the way until the 94th. You concede the late goal. You just have to see a few more moments out to pick up all 3 points there. But here, you go down early. So now you got to find yourself back in the game. So now you're playing that goal down scenario that you talk about in meetings, you talk about in practice, and now you've got to solve it.
Garziano running into traffic, but gets the throw in. If you're just joining us, longtime college coach Eric Dobransky, I'm Bridget Howard with you this evening here from the Cotton Bowl. Dallas Trinity on the board early thanks to Maya McCutcheon, her first goal with Dallas. Brooklyn, and they get some offense going. In the corner, cutting it back is Scarpelli to the top of the box. Sealy Strawn gets there. Breslin.
And that's one of those final actions that you can see some of the growing those relationships and that chemistry in the final third, because tremendous recognition to know that you're 1 versus 1. Dallas Trinity lacked some support defending in that wide channel. You go 1 versus 1, you win that duel, you put yourself in a position where you're in front of goal, and that final pass, that final run just does not connect. So do you go ahead and take that opportunity yourself, or do you continue to look for that pass moving forward? Those are things that you can talk about at halftime. You can go into the second half with kind of that common understanding and start kind of laying out the groundwork of what you want those moments to finish up looking like.
Well, Dallas Trinity fans, mark your calendars for the team's next home match. Don't miss the State Fair Classico, Saturday, October 18th at the Cotton Bowl. Trinity takes on Mexico's powerhouse Club America, and every ticket includes a mission to the State Fair of Texas. Get yours now at DallasTrinityFC.com/Classico. never been to the State Fair in Texas, but I heard there's great food. I don't know about you.
I can only imagine. Yeah, same here.
Give me anything fried. Long ball over the top. Scarpelli looking for Garziano, but Tamara works back. Breslin with a rip. Goes wide.
And this is better for Brooklyn, and if you're Brooklyn, you have to like where you're going with the ideas, the collective effort to get forward, to flood the box, to put numbers in positive positions. You're just misfiring with some of the passes and decisions, and that's fine because you're putting yourself in the position. Now start figuring out, how do you connect that last pass? How do you create that final moment?
Hinson and Kroger. That battle, Hinson wins it. Seeley Strawn for a through ball up to Bogagoo. Kelsey Hill does her job. Garziano. Strawn. Seeley Strawn had an outstanding year in the inaugural season, was the Young Player of the Year winner in the Super League. Had 4 goals, 2 assists. She's set to graduate high school in 2026, committed to the University of North Carolina. .35th minute now. Brooklyn trying to piece something together up the pitch. Lewis trying to work her magic around Hinson, but she says no. A lot of up to Thornton. Thornton keeps it. Kroger getting back to her.
Allie Thornton recognizing that she needed to wait for numbers to join her. Unfortunately, couldn't delay long enough, and Brooklyn has found something along this left side for them. Provided a number of outlets, provided a number of opportunities for Scarpelli to get involved.
Tamara just weaving her way through the midfield. Plays it out to Bogagoo. Not pleased with that one.
In the last 5-10 minutes, the Dallas Trinity offense has kind of sputtered out a bit, and credit to Brooklyn. They are starting to not only just apply the pressure, but they're starting to make play predictable for their support defenders, so they're putting themselves in good positions, they're picking off good passes, but they're also doing it with that blend of disruption that they have in their toolbox, in their identity. And now they've started to put together some attacking sequences that have not yet paid off or found that breakthrough that they're looking for, but it's definitely something confidence-wise you're going to be growing into the break, and you still have plenty of time here.
He's cut back from Breslin. She has space. Breslin towards goal. Oh, just out in front of Rebecca Cook.
And this front line has looked different since Rebecca Cook has come on. They've been committed to stretching this back line as we see Riley Foster down.
Look back at the replay. Hope Breslin, right idea, just a little too far in front of Cook.
Saw that subtle look to the left, see where Garziano was. Plays this left-footed ball. Rebecca Cook putting herself in a position. She's almost able to connect with this service.
Riley Foster, the goalkeeper for Dallas Trinity, getting tended to on the field by a trainer. Another look at this ball from Hope Breslin. Just missing Rebecca Cook.
And it's just a late enough run from Rebecca Cook where you catch all the defenders focused on the ball, so you're catching them on the blind shoulder.
So that's Sam Estrada, number 0 for Dallas Trinity, one of the backup goalkeepers. Played at SMU from 2018 to 2023, and last season appeared in 3 games. So she'll be ready on the sidelines. Just like we've got the backs of Dallas Trinity FC, Trust and Will also has yours, helping families protect their legacy for generations. Start your plan today at trustandwill.com. What do you imagine that conversation's about right now?
I think a bit of the talk is about what they're doing when they do regain possession, because we saw it early in the match when they were able to dispossess Brooklyn. Yes, it was higher up the field, but even when they did it at midfield, that first pass was not only completed, but it was progressive. And right now, Brooklyn, again, credit to Brooklyn, what they're doing. They're staying compact. They're suffocating a lot of different spaces and making it difficult for Dallas Trinity. But there are still areas there to play further up the field, whether it's breaking a bigger line, whether it's being a bit more direct. We have not seen heavy involvement from Allie Thornton here in the first half. We did early on. And so I've got to imagine that they have touched on some of those decision-making with the outlet pass when you do get back on the ball, the areas to focus on and the players to look for.
Scarpelli clears that ball out of bounds. 40th minute, Dallas still on top at home, 1-0. Courtesy of a header goal from Maya McCutcheon. Samar Guidry plays it out to Hinson. The Bogagoo there. She'll be waved offside.
And that was another player early on that we saw heavy involvement from. Hinson and the Bogagoo were connecting a lot. They were stretching the back line. There was not necessarily that overlapping pressure that they were creating against that Brooklyn back line, but when Hinson was driving on the dribble, clearly looking for that threaded ball into that channel, and it paid dividends a number of times early on. Obviously, it led to a corner there early on that led to the Maya McCutcheon goal.
Cook tracks it down in the corner, throw in. So look at the fan section down in Dallas. A drum makes all the difference in a stadium that is on.
It does. You want the energy, you bring a drum.
Absolutely, the Cotton Bowl, it's a big stadium. It's a big one to fill up, so having a drum. Nice ball across the box from Loving. Riley Foster holds on to it tightly.
And going back to Rebecca Cook and what this front line has looked like, that commitment to stretch a back line and interchange with Garziano, it keeps them honest in that moment, and it does extend some of that space that does sit in front of that back line. So now Bellata has to cover a bit more ground. Now McCutcheon has to work back a bit more, whereas in early on she was able to stay a bit higher and be that outlet.
Allie Thornton nearly picks that ball off. Another poor pass from Brooklyn. Out of the back, causing a collision. Both players still down. was Tamara and Kelsey Hill.
And that looked like a tough coming together here, both playing the ball and Kelsey Hill going there, and Tamara trying to keep possession.
We've seen it a couple times from this Brooklyn back line. The passes have not been precise enough, and it leads to moments like this, unfortunately. You have to have pinpoint precision if you want to build out of the back against this Dallas team that is going to put the pressure on you right away. That one just not on cue.
And they've lived on that edge, because right now Dallas Trinity have not yet punished them to the full extent when they have created those turnovers. And that's why I go back to that ball from Brooklyn cleared off the line that kept this game at 1-0. That was a goal right there for Dallas Trinity that could have put Brooklyn behind the pace in this match early. But now at 1-0, Brooklyn has been able to grow into this match, start to find their form offensively, and still living with some of those turnovers in the build-up out of the back, but have done a decent job of recovering. But you want to clean those up. You want to make sure that you're playing with that quality out of the back, and you're not creating scenarios where your teammates that are already higher up the field have to track back 40, 50, 60 yards to get back behind a play because of a turnover in the build.
Dallas, send it forward. Tamara still at the top of your screen, just steps off the pitch. We'll have extra soccer here in this first half. 7 minutes of stoppage time right now. Kroger denied in the midfield. Abogagoo. And a yellow card shown to Rebecca Cook. Alex Billiter not liking that play.
Ball's away, still comes through. Bogagoo. We talk about some of the possession numbers and winning that battle and different metrics, but this is a Brooklyn side that got outshot last week against the Tampa Bay Sun. I mean, they created the 9 chances, 3 on goal, scored 2 of those. So efficient and ruthless in those moments. So a team that can build themselves into matches and don't need a ton of chances.
Abogagoo towards goal, that off the post. She had space, she wanted to take a rip herself, not a bad effort.
And especially here early on in the season, you want to extend that lead from 1-0 to 2-0. You want to find and press to earn that second goal. Put a bit more distance between yourself and your opponent. And you mentioned it in the opening weekend, there were goals out there. All these teams were creating those moments, creating opportunities. So you have to feel like there's going to be another goal in this match, and you want to be the team that finds that breakthrough.
Amy Bellata has been dominant so far in the midfield for Dallas. Using her body, keeping control of the ball. Just smart play from Bellata, the addition from Spokane Zephyr.
And I thought she was spectacular last week. Obviously scored in that match against her former team, but just the way that she created moments, she was on the ball, so dynamic, so explosive, and that comes from how decisive she was on and off the ball. Now obviously asked to play deeper here, another turnover created by Dallas.
Tamara trips up Sam Kroger.
And I think that's another area that this Dallas Trinity side are going to talk about at the break, is how do you punish Brooklyn in those moments where you do create the turnover? Where do you find the outlet? Recognizing what you need and how you're going to get there in those moments, as well as we see the yellow card.
New head coach for Brooklyn, Tomas Tangerina, getting a yellow in the late moments of this first half. So coming into this match, Brooklyn led the league with 4 yellow cards, picking up a couple more here in Dallas. That opportunity trickles out of bounds. Goal kick coming for Dallas.
But you could see that commitment and that competitiveness from this Brooklyn side and how they want to play defensively, how they're allowing that to grow into what they look like in the attacking third.
Tangerina, he was named head coach on August 5th, diving right into the Super League, and he has a reputation for competitive, attack-minded teams, so you're seeing that play out in these first 2 matches for Brooklyn. Sealy Strawn on the ball. Looking forward, no one home. Sam Kroger, one of those returning players for Brooklyn. She made everything go for Brooklyn last season. Tamara shown a yellow.
Agreed, and this is a Brooklyn side that, with all the newcomers, they are still built with that identity, and obviously the returners that were impactful returners from last year had such a terrific season. Obviously Kelsey Hill being one of those, consistent player in the back. But when you build a roster and you reshape the roster, that identity is first and foremost. You're building to those principles and that style of play, so something that these players, character-wise and attributes-wise, they fit that mold.
Garziano with the free kick. Nothing comes of it. Thompson back to Garziano. '51st minute from the Cotton Bowl. Dallas still on top. Sealy Strawn gets bodied to the ground from Hope Breslin. Breslin not happy about it.
Talk about winning your duels. Amber Wisner gets up and wins that challenge at that center back position, and then you earn a foul at midfield. There's another yellow card towards the Brooklyn bench.
One of the assistants gets a yellow on the Brooklyn sideline. So Dallas got things going early in this one. They were able to get on the board thanks to a corner kick from Winnie Bellata, finding the head of Maya McCutcheon. And Brooklyn has had good spurts, some good moments in transition and trying to create something in the attack. But again, they're still trying to find that chemistry, and they haven't been able to find the back of the net in this one. But they've had some bright moments, and they build upon it. Certainly we'll have some conversations at the half.
And we talked briefly about what Dallas Trinity's conversation is going to be at the break. You're absolutely right. I think for Brooklyn, it's going to be about those final actions, that final quality, and then also that commitment to get numbers in that final third. I think some of the turnovers through the build in the back and the midfield maybe caused that hesitancy to go forward and really fully commit to getting to the final third. But that's going to be discussed, and obviously those final moments are going to be highlighted.
And when we talk about Dallas, it was Maya McCutcheon getting things done, her first goal with the club. What do you imagine those conversations are like in the locker room for this Dallas Trinity side?
I mean, it's a massive phase of play for any team, set pieces, and it pays dividends early for the Dallas Trinity.
And Maya McCutcheon, she was all over the pitch getting it done for Dallas Trinity in this first half. She finds the back of the net for her first goal with the club. And Maya, she joins us now down on the field. Maya, thanks so much for making the time. Congratulations on your first goal with the club. Walk us through, because Winnie Bellata set you up perfectly on that corner kick.
Yeah, I was really happy to score that because normally I'm screening and, setting other people up. So I'm glad I was switched on and the ball just fell perfectly for me to head it right in. And it was a team goal to have a set piece goal. So I'm happy I could put it in early in the game.
Maya, looked like early in the first half, you guys, and throughout that first half, put tremendous pressure on Brooklyn. What do you guys need to do in the second half to continue that pressure, but also have that equate to finding that second goal?
Yeah, I think we're doing a really good job putting pressure, like you said, but I think offensively, when we do win it, if we can keep it a couple more passes and just start to build and be who we are, I think that will lead to goals so we get more shots on goal and chances.
Well, Maya, we appreciate you making the time for us. Also, have to note, we like the celly. Keep up the cellies. We like it.
Thank you so much. I get so excited when I score, so I never know what I'm going to do.
As you should, as you should. Well, Maya, we'll let you get to the locker room. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Well, that's Maya McCutcheon. She got to work early for this Dallas Trinity side. They're up 1-0 at the break over Brooklyn. We'll be back right after this. This is the Gamebridge Super League on Peacock.
Technical goalkeeping. Tampa Bay has done it!
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Nice shot. Let's play.
This is UT Southwestern Medical Center, and this is where a spark happens. This is the teamwork that fuels it, the mentors who shape it. And this is where it comes together, with this care team connecting the dots, all leading up to this moment right here at UT Southwestern, where discoveries change lives. And this spark is just the beginning. Follow your spark at UT Southwestern, the #1 hospital in Dallas-Fort Worth.
I love what I do, and the fact that I get to take care of kids every day really is a special privilege. It's been really amazing to see how easy it was to take care of kids here. We have a culture of saying yes to whatever the kid needs. If it's for the kid, Scottish Rite is going to make it happen.
So, how do you feel?
I feel really good.
Okay. All right.
Splendid.
Scottish Rite for Children, trusted for outstanding pediatric orthopedic care, loved for giving children back their childhood.
Well, welcome back to halftime here in Dallas. Dallas's next home match is on October 18th. Here's a quick preview of the State Fair Classico. We're back in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl, and it's the home side up 1-0 at the break. Maya McCutcheon and this Dallas side, they wanted to impress their home fans, and they're doing so after this first 45. Well, before we get into the highlights and all the things recapping that first half, let's take a look at the news and notes around the Gainbridge Super League. It's week 2 in season 2. It's been fun so far.
Yeah, just so much excitement around the league, around the teams, and around the players. I mean, there is just so much going on So many positive things. Obviously, the Suncell Stadium rights, I mean, that is a big thing. Hosted the final last year. I mean, that organization continues to grow, and then Brooklyn's first win at home was huge.
Yeah, their first win at Maimonides Park. They moved there last spring. They had played at a different location in the fall, moved to Maimonides Park, and they're starting this season off with a bang, getting their first win at home. Well, let's take a look at the live scoreboard around the Gainbridge Super League. Right now, it's full time, between Spokane and DC. They ended in a draw, and Carolina Ascent and Fort Lauderdale also drawing this evening. And then Sporting Jacksonville, how about it? Against the reigning champs, they're up 2-0.
And they've just added another, so they are playing extremely well right now and efficient in front of goal.
Well, we've got much more coming up for you right after the break. I'm jealous of her face paint that she has on the other side of her face. Well, the fans are ready for the second half, and so are we. Stick with us. Welcome back to the Gainbridge Super League on Peacock. The action continues this evening with Dallas and Brooklyn. Dallas up on top 1-0 at the break. All right, well, let's look back at the first half highlights. In the 10th minute, Dallas started to find their footing offensively, and who does it start with? Allie Thornton.
Yeah, and this is an early spell of opportunities from the Dallas Trinity. The opportunity to play in behind. A good mix of variety in the attack, and obviously earn a corner here. What a delivery from Balada. And then all the movement and action around Maya McCutcheon forces Brooklyn to make some decisions. Obviously they vacate areas, and Maya McCutcheon there to put away the first one. And then chances along this left side for Dallas Trinity have been abundant early on in the first half, and then Brooklyn made some adjustments. This is commitment to get back on the line and clear some opportunities to keep this game at 1-0. And Sierra Hinson has been tremendous. The ability 1v1, but also the recognition in moments where she can go forward and join the attack has been very progressive for the Dallas Trinity.
She gets moved to the outside back, but her options offensively have grown since making that move. And a look at the halftime stats. The glaring thing we both noted was the possession heavily in favor of Brooklyn.
And I do think that there's two pieces to that. I think for Brooklyn FC, they have built through the back, but I also think some of the turnovers have led to the quick possessions for the Dallas Trinity. They haven't had, now we heard Maya McCutcheon say in an interview at halftime that maybe that extra pass, that extra moment when they do regain possession higher up the field would pay dividends in regards to allowing them to get numbers, allowing them to build that structure on the ball. And then I think on the other side, it's playing with that 1-0 advantage. You do have that human element where you start to retreat into your own area, your own defensive box, your defensive half. So Brooklyn was able to find the ball and be on the ball from that back line to that holding midfielder, but just weren't able to find a lot of success in that final third. They had good numbers and good opportunities where they could have advanced themselves, but just didn't have that final action. You can see it with the 3 shots and none on target.
So Brooklyn dominated possession. Can they make something come of it in the second half and put them back in this game? Longtime college coach Eric Dobransky. I'm Bridget Howard with you this evening. It's Dallas Trinity and Brooklyn FC in week 2 of the Gamebridge Super League. Our head official tonight is Alexandra Billiter. A quick foul will be a restart in favor of Dallas as Sierra Hinson hits the deck.
And they only had 1 deep free kick in that first half, so this being another where you could treat this restart, commit the numbers into the box, obviously be careful in that rest defense in terms of any transition moment for Brooklyn. But why not put this ball in a position where you're playing right above that penalty spot?
So another yellow handed out to a Brooklyn player, this time Jordan Thompson. Winnie Bellata and Chioma Abogagu ready to take it. It'll be Bellata. Bellata towards goal. Bree Norris uses her feet, picks it up.
Those are those early season looks that we talk about, fine-tuning things as you stack performances week to week. The turnovers continue to mount for Brooklyn FC, building out of the back.
Kelsey Hill taking her time in the corner, and that was Celie Strawn challenging.
Climbing all the way from that midfield position. It does look like the center official is going to have another conversation with the Brooklyn FC sideline.
So another yellow, which leads to a red for the Brooklyn sideline. Eric, longtime coach, what does that mean?
I mean, obviously it means there's been long dialogue between the 4th official, center official, and the coaching staff for Brooklyn FC, but it also does send that message to the players on what they're looking for in terms of, you can see, restart in the build for Brooklyn. But obviously there was, whenever you're having that communication from the coaching side of it, you want to have intent and purpose behind that communication with the official. You're not just barking out words to kind of hear yourself speak. You're making sure that you're communicating in a way that you're trying to kind of guide the match along, and whether it's you feel like there's calls that are being missed, whether you feel like the flow of the match is just getting away. And usually from an assistant standpoint, it is, I don't want to say the role to protect the head coach, but it is that role sometimes where you got to step in, and you do have those difficult conversations, knowing that you're probably going to earn the repercussions of the double yellow and being sent off.
So we restart here in Dallas. A red card shown to the Brooklyn bench, and a staff member had to exit this match. But we're back to play on the pitch. Brooklyn will reset from the back.
Already early in the season, Brooklyn is proving to be a difficult team to play against. They're going to be disruptive. They're going to be physical. They're going to be emotional as well. And I don't even say that just from the coaching staff getting the double yellow, but just overall, they are playing off of that emotion. They're playing at a frenetic pace, and this energy. Now it's about connecting that in both boxes. We've seen it defensively, their commitment to get back behind the ball, to make plays when they're there to be made. They did concede the goal on the corner kick. But everything else, they have made sure that they're getting themselves back into second and third actions. They might lose the battle in the 1v1 duel, but they're gonna make sure that they're getting back into their position, occupying space, slowing down the attacking player when it's necessary.
Tamara slots it out to Abogugu. Abogugu on the ground, strong towards goal. Oh, how about that paw from Bree Norris?
And that is a clever delay met by a clever run. Saw Allie Thornton occupying the defenders centrally, wrapped her run back around. Good contact, just not enough pace to beat Bree Norris in that moment.
Loving taking it herself, playing it forward, up to Cook. Rolls out of bounds before she can get to it.
And just like Brooklyn wants to see their defensive structure turn into something offensively in terms of that rhythm, that fluidity, that dangerous nature, Dallas Trinity are feeling the same way, because they have to be saying to themselves, they are creating turnover after turnover after turnover, and Brooklyn FC are living that fine line between turning the ball over and minimizing the threat afterwards. But I also think that the Dallas Trinity are going to start building into those moments. You already saw it right there, recognizing, just be patient, and then Celie Strong was able to wrap that run around, find that space centrally.
Dallas Trinity fans want the inside track this season? Sign up for the DTFC newsletter for breaking news, special offers, and exclusive updates from the club in year 2 of the Gamebridge Super League. Scan the QR code now and stay connected all year long. Ball just keeps getting turned over in the midfield. Pilata slots it up to Thornton. Allie Thornton, she had space, but she'll be waved offside, just unable to time her run.
Just a step off, and these last few sequences are prime examples of why we would see the possession numbers and where they're at, because of how quickly Dallas is able to get back on the ball and how quickly they want to go and punish Brooklyn, just missing that final decision on how to break it through. And again, I'll go back to what Maya McCutcheon brought up at halftime. Sometimes when you do win that possession and you feel like you have the numbers to go transition quickly, sometimes it is better to play it back, play it sideways, and then just add that element of maybe 1 or 2 more runners, and now you're efficient and effective in flooding the box and creating those dangerous opportunities.
You can also bait in the defense, right?
Yep.
By passing it backwards, allowing for some time, drawing them in, and then in that time, you're getting numbers forward and you're able to catch them off guard. So it's twofold in what you can do by passing it backwards and waiting for numbers, but these are some dangerous passes in the box for Brooklyn. Allie Thornton was there putting the pressure on, but a goal kick coming for Brooklyn. So this replay presented by DTX Sports Medicine. Eric, she was waved offside.
This is one that Dallas is going to look at, where they regain possession and that quick idea to play into space. And that's what Allie Thornton does just so well, just sits in between the center backs, makes them have to communicate on who's passing over to who. You can occupy 2 defenders with 1 attacker. It's always positive for your threat going forward.
So a free kick coming for Brooklyn. It's Jess Garziano and Sam Kroger, 2 of the returning players for Brooklyn, set to take this free kick. Everyone lined up at the top of the box. Garziano will take it and play it into the corner. Ball played in, but Pilata was there. Kroger over the top, but it's Riley Foster there first.
It looked like that run of Rebecca Cook was well timed. That ball had just held up.
Alex Billiter blows her whistle. Delay a game. Riley Foster taking just a bit too much time. So it'll be a corner kick for Brooklyn. Jess Garziano stands over. Garziano, backside. Hope Breslin was there, but unable to connect.
Good delivery there. It has the pace and the location where Riley Foster is not able to work off of her line and make contact. When you have that grazing service going into the 6-yard box, you have to hit it with tempo, because goalkeeper has the opportunity, but Garziano doing a terrific job there.
So Hope Breslin gets taken to the ground. Alex Billiter waving for the training staff. She took a hard fall. Here's what happened.
Extremely painful. It looks like that left shoulder. Maya McCutcheon just trying to shield, put her body between the ball and the defender, and catches Hope Breslin there. Gotta hope that she's okay.
Scary moment for Hope Breslin. You could see there she immediately grabbed for her arm. Hope Breslin, she's another one of those players that was on this inaugural Brooklyn team last year, had 1 goal and 2 assists last season, played in 72 minutes of the season opener at Maimonides Park, and we've seen nice play and build up through the midfield for Brooklyn in spells, as you said at the beginning of this second half, and a big part of that is because they've got 2 experienced returning players in Breslin and Kroger. You take Breslin out of that, what does that look like? And you've got Sam Kroger, who ran the midfield for this Brooklyn team last year, and Breslin, she had her moments, she had her minutes last year, but Kroger was really the one that ran the table for Brooklyn.
And I think a lot of that experience is helping Brooklyn absorb some of the hits that they're taking in the turnover battle. The ability to win that battle of proximity and be in the distance you need to be, whether it's the down press, whether it's being ready in rest defense, whether it's just those little areas to put enough influence and impact as we see this play again. And these plays that are sort of bang, bang, it's so difficult, and prepare yourself for that fall.
Certainly hard to do in the moment, but if you're a Brooklyn fan, looks like positive news. Hope Breslin was able to walk off by herself, but a free kick here. Garziano plays it into the box, headed up, and it'll end up in a corner kick for Brooklyn. Gainbridge Super League season has officially begun. Visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Super League. Garziano busy in this second half as she gets ready to take yet another corner kick for Brooklyn. Into the box, punched out, cleared.
And another good delivery, so that's something for Brooklyn. As this second half wears on, can you earn a couple more corners? You can see the work that Kelsey Hill, Rebecca Cook are doing. Hope Breslin along that far post.
Dallas has been lucky. Delay of game ended in a corner kick. They've given up a couple of free kicks just inside the half-field mark, and those are opportunities where if Brooklyn capitalizes, this is a different game. And so they've gotten lucky in the fact that their defense has come up strong, and Brooklyn hasn't been able to make anything of those opportunities.
I would agree with you. I think they're living out some of these moments and trying to learn from some of these turnovers and some of the moments where they're going on the attack and then Brooklyn's able to transition pretty quickly. But you also look for Dallas. Going after that second goal is going to be a big piece to this match. I think finding that next goal, you have to feel like there's a goal out there. And Brooklyn obviously is going to continue to open themselves up to go find that goal because they need it to equalize. Dallas, where do you find that blend and that balance of pushing for that second goal, but also leaving yourself susceptible to concede possibly?
So another change in players for Brooklyn. It's Melina Freitas on for Jess Garziano. The Brazilian midfielder, newly signed just days ago. Getting her first minutes in this match. Can she be the difference maker for Brooklyn? Sporting director Kevin Tenho said she brings that Brazilian edge, the attack.
And I know this earns her a yellow, but that's that veteran experience in midfield. Kroger picking up the yellow, and now another yellow for Brooklyn. But that looked like that was gaining traction to be a dangerous attack for Dallas.
Is busy tonight at the Cotton Bowl. Samantha Kroger getting a yellow. Right after that play, Hope Breslin also getting a yellow. They're adding up for Brooklyn. As a reminder, they led the league in yellow cards heading into tonight's match with 4. Certainly over that threshold now, and this ball towards goal off the post. Oh! You don't think a ball from that range will go that far, and it does. Bree Norris, thankfully on her toes, able to get back. Brooklyn charging forward. Stopped by Bellata.
And just a few moments ago, we were talking about Dallas kind of surviving some of these moments that Brooklyn has created and scoring a goal, as we see a tremendous drive here.
Kylie Delaney into the box, headed out by Brooklyn. It is just back and forth right now between Brooklyn and Dallas. Loving looking for help. She plays it backwards.
That last play was screaming for Strawn to get on the ball. That late entry, Allie Thornton had all the defenders focused on her. But going back to it, we were talking about Dallas and some of the opportunities they were giving up. But they're also going to look at it and almost feel hard done that they don't have 3 on the board right now. They've created some good looks. They obviously had that one goal in the first half, or that one opportunity in the first half, cleared off the line a couple times from Brooklyn. Obviously the big save from Bree Norris, and then some big interventions defensively. We see this delivery. Almost just catches Bree Norris by surprise. She's preparing herself to come off of her line into that space, thinking that Amber Wisner was going to play it right in front, dump that ball right over that back line.
So a substitution for Dallas Trinity, and Chris Petroselli, number 21, Cameron Lancaster on for Celie Strawn. That ball deflects off the referee. Towards goal, picked up by Riley Foster. Breslin sends it towards goal, just over the crossbar, but we have a player down at the top of the box.
Looks like Freitas and Riley Foster. Bit of an altercation right there as Riley Foster was trying to get out of the 18-yard box. As we continued play, it was a bit disjointed and scattered in terms of what opportunity created itself, and now you see Brooklyn with another corner kick.
So a corner kick here, sent to the top of the box. All corner kicks this evening brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank. Tamara at the top of your screen, looking to redirect, finds the feet of Abogagou, but not before Breslin works back. Sophia Lewis gets the ball in the corner. Sent it to the top of the box. Rebecca Cook gets a deflection. Favorable corner kick. Another one brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank. Gear up for year 2. Rep Dallas Trinity with the latest kits, scarves, and merch. Visit shop.dallastrinityfc.com today and show your colors all season long. So another corner kick on the way for Brooklyn. This time it'll be Sam Kroger. Kroger handled majority of these set piece opportunities last season. Gets set from the corner, played in, cleared out. And a trip up at the top of the box. It'll be another corner kick, and it was Riley Foster off of her line. Kelsey Hill trying to make something happen for Brooklyn.
Brooklyn is committed to this physicality in that second and third wave of these set pieces, and gotta be careful if you're Dallas. You have this 1-0 advantage, but you're starting to see some positive things be created from these corners Brooklyn in.
Another corner kick brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank. Again, it's Sam Kroger. High archer, backside, Hill was there. She was able to get ahead on it. Nothing comes of it. You can see Riley Foster telling her group, settle down. They have given up a number of opportunities in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, you're approaching that 20-minute mark left in this match. Obviously, whatever we see added on. But match management, and obviously, you can talk about it. You can replicate moments like this in training, goal up, player down. You can discuss what it's going to look like, but until you're facing it in real time, that's when you see what it looks like and what you're made of in those moments. How do you communicate with your teammates? How do you collaborate? How do you problem solve? Those are big factors. And that's for both teams, to be honest. I mean, obviously, Brooklyn trying to get themselves back in this match and to build off of the momentum that they created in week 1. Dallas Trinity have to feel like they've created a number of chances. This game should have more than one goal.
Again, it's Mylena Freitas getting tripped up in the midfield. Kylie Delaney getting her first start with Dallas Trinity this evening. She played in 20 minutes last weekend against Spokane. 4-year standout from Arkansas. A nice addition to the back line in this one with Hannah Davison out. Scarpelli cuts it back and rips one towards goal. Hope Breslin liked it.
What a decision there. Gets a clear look at Riley Foster. And when you strike this, you know that all of this traffic is going to go in and around Riley Foster. Talked about that free kick earlier on against Bree Norris. You're already anticipating that ball being served to that far post, and now you almost catch Riley Foster off her line and committing to the left.
Corner kick incoming from Sam Kroger, punched out. Freitas into the box. Allie Thornton takes this one, and she's off to the races and gets tripped up.
Have those numbers in the box in a second wave after a corner. You need that delivery to be deep into the box. You need it to either lead to an opportunity or a chance for your team, or it just goes out for a goal kick. You're not able to clear that first defender. You see what just happened, that quick counter, obviously well defended. You got good numbers around the ball.
So some more substitutions on the way for Brooklyn. Leah Scarpelli, her day is done. It'll be Anna Markovic getting her first minutes of the day. And Emily Pringle will step on in the midfield for Hope Breslin. Brooklyn, they're starting to find their groove, getting more opportunities in the final third here in the second half.
And with plenty of time, so you don't need to force something that's not there. Look for quality, look for some opportunities to upgrade. just settle. You've done a lot of work to keep this game at 1-0. You've done a lot of work to find your footing offensively. See another foul. And just like Brooklyn has used their corners to build into this second half, this is where Dallas is going to want to look at this free kick and put something in the mix, cause that chaos. If you could just get the slightest of touches on, put it in an area where you give your team a chance.
So a Dallas sub now, Tamara will step off, and it'll be the former Brooklyn player, Caroline Kelly, getting her first minutes of the day. Kelly joined this Brooklyn side last spring, played in only 5 games, but she was a huge difference maker in the spring. Ball played in, Kelly's there! Just misses, but was waved offside. Right after we say her name, she gets some touches.
Yeah, you bring that new look, those fresh ideas into the attack. Bolt had been heavily involved throughout this match, obviously had the assist on the equalizer in that Week 1 matchup. Saw Dallas Trinity come out, equalize just a few moments into the second half. Big goal from Bellata, and then obviously Allie Thornton had the game winner in the 70th, but Caroline Kelly almost making her presence known as soon as she stepped on the field.
Dallas Trinity fans, mark your calendars for the team's next home match. Don't miss the State Fair Classico Saturday, October 18th at the Cotton Bowl. Trinity takes on Mexico's powerhouse Club America, and every ticket includes admission to the State Fair of Texas. Get yours now at DallasTrinityFC.com/Classico. So a restart for Brooklyn. This ball, a high arcer, floated to the backside. It won't matter. Billiter blows her whistle, and it'll turn over in Dallas's favor. So Riley Foster gets the ball at her feet. 77th minute now, Eric, and Dallas came out hot with the opportunities in the first half, and ever since this second half has started, Brooklyn has had opportunity after opportunity. They still have yet to find the back of the net.
This second half reminds me a bit of the first half. Early start for Dallas, very front-footed, getting good numbers going forward, but other than that, it's sputtered out in the attacking third, and it's allowed Brooklyn to gain some momentum. So in the first half, the shots were 6-3 in favor of Dallas. This half has been complete opposite. It's been 5 shots to 2 in favor of Brooklyn, and now 3 of those are on target just in this second half.
Well, and not only that, building on the opportunities, they've had 6 corner kicks in the second half alone.
And they're carrying a large possession, a large number of the possession with 66% possession. But again, a lot of that is attributed to the way Dallas is trying to see this game out, especially early on in the season. You're not getting style points. I mean, to be honest, you're never getting style points. 3 points is 3 points. But as you start to build in to the season, you have those conversations on detailed late game tactics and how you want to see games out. And right now, if you're Dallas, do everything in your power to win your duels, win your matchups, and play your role in preserving this 1-0 lead. And if given the opportunity, go score a second goal. And for Brooklyn, you're going to get everything from them. They're on the road. They've obviously feel like they've played good defensively because they've given up the 1 goal on the corner. But besides that, they've done a lot of work to get themselves in rhythm going forward. And I still think that they've got another level to that. But they're going to do everything they can to find the equalizer here late.
Second half has been very stop and go, stop and go. So many fouls. How hard is that as a coach to coach a game with this type of flow?
Oh, it's so hard. And you bring up a great point as we see Caroline Kelly getting in.
Kelly denied in the box, but was able to find a pocket of space.
And those are those second actions from Brooklyn that they're making sure that they're intervening before anything major comes of it. Now we see a corner for Dallas.
Another corner brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank, the first of the second half for Dallas. Chioma Abogagu, great at taking set pieces. Can they capitalize again here to the backside? That was Wisner on the end of it. Again, another ball played in, denied by Brooklyn's back line. Dallas having a couple of good moments here late in the second half. Who can possess it right now is the question. Brooklyn comes away with it. Now back to Dallas. The Gainbridge Super League season has officially begun. Visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Super League. Also sign up for the Super Newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter.
Caroline Kelly has come on and provided a different look for Dallas Trinity. And going back to the conversation we were just having a few moments ago about how disruptive and disjointed this second half has been. The first half saw a lot of it from Brooklyn as another good ball played in.
Caroline Kelly with loads of space. Kelly takes it herself and just narrowly misses on the back post. She wants that one back.
You could see on the dribble that Caroline Kelly was committed to striking this with her right foot. And you almost got the sense that Pringle was closing down that space, knowing that if she could just get Caroline Kelly and have that influence, just that last moment, she could force Caroline Kelly to push that wide. And those are two big interventions from Brooklyn, one in the first half that kept it at 1-0, and right there, Pringle with that relentless running to go track Caroline Kelly down and influence that final moment.
Caroline Kelly hit the deck hard. Petroselli checking in on her from the sideline. Well, just like we've got the backs of Dallas Trinity FC, Trust and Will also has yours, helping families protect their legacy for generations. Start your plan today at trustandwill.com. So Winnie Bellata ready to take this free kick at the bottom of your screen. The momentum has flipped in the last few minutes in favor of Dallas. Can they add to their lead here in the 83rd minute? Bellata that ball bounced through a couple of Brooklyn players. It'll be a throw-in deep in Brooklyn's half.
And let's see how Dallas wants to play out this final 6 minutes. Do you want to continue? Obviously, they're ramping up the pressure. Anytime you're facing a deep throw and you feel like you can regain possession, you're going to get those numbers in the attacking half, as they do get back on the ball and earn a valuable free kick, especially with precious time coming off the clock. Loving the discussion with the center official.
So it's no surprise that this was a physical match, because even Petroselli noted that in our conversation this week, just based off watching the film between Brooklyn and Tampa last weekend. But really, it has been a chippy affair, a lot of fouls. Just made it hard to get into this match. Lancaster from Kelly. Lancaster across the box. No one home. Great build-up from Dallas.
It's just building off of that initial run from Allie Thornton. She has done the job of occupying centrally. Now, are there some moments where maybe you can delay it or pull out of that run and maybe create and recycle it? But a lot of it has been driving at the goal from Allie Thornton, and that space in behind her readily available. It's for other teammates to make that run in. We saw Celie Strong take advantage of it a number of times.
Caroline Kelly, can she beat Pringle? She can. Kelly going at it with Kelsey Hill, and Kelsey Hill wins that battle. The captain for Brooklyn, standing strong. Dallas just has bodies in all the right places in the midfield. Loving will see a yellow card.
And you were after that discussion just a few moments ago that the next foul was going to bring out the yellow card for Loving. And this is going to be perfectly fine for Dallas Trinity, because they're going to slow the ball, slow the game down, take the air out of the ball. No need to go quick here. Or go ahead and get play going.
Wisner held her run. Wisner, again, they've had so many opportunities in the last few minutes where a player has gotten it on this near side of the box and no one has been home in that central part.
Yeah, and it's presented different spaces, because there's been a couple times on the left side that there's been space in between the goalkeeper, the back line to play into. There you saw it as well. That back line wasn't fully committed to occupying that space in front of Bree Norris, so you almost had that area to play into. But again, that intent from Brooklyn to make sure that they know exactly where Allie Thornton is at all times when that ball is in the final third.
Caroline Kelly will throw it in. And the feet of a Bogagoo. This right side has really been working in the last couple spells of possession for Dallas. We'll have a late sub in the 88th minute. Lucy Shepard. She'll come on for Chioma Ubogagoo, who's had a great night. Shepard getting her first minutes of the season.
You talk about Allie Thornton and how many defenders she gets to commit to occupying her. Bogagoo, same. How explosive she is in those 1v1s. It causes a back line to tend to overcommit, overshift. You concede a lot of that space over on the opposite side. It unbalances you.
Sierra Hinson controls it. into this match, both teams were coming off wins in week 1. Brooklyn was hoping to play the spoiler tonight in Dallas. Upset this experienced team. If the score holds, Dallas will pick up their 2nd win of the season. Allie Thornton in the right position, unable to control it. She's been more of a facilitator tonight. Not too many opportunities in front of net, but she's always a part of the offense for this Dallas side, and whether it be a pass or just a flick on, I'd say she's acted more as a facilitator this evening.
And it's so valuable when you have a central forward that'll do that thankless running, that'll do that relentless pursuit, whether it's in pressure defensively or just off the ball. The ability to create space for others and pull defenders away. You see Bree Norris down for Brooklyn.
So both teams will get a quick reset here with Bree Norris down. Getting some attention from the training staff. So what's made the difference in this match so far came in the 13th minute. It was Maya McCutcheon getting her first goal of the season with this Dallas side off a great service from Winnie Bellata.
And the emphasis on putting this header down, the ball down, driving it down, it makes it so difficult for not only the goalkeeper to track, but any defenders. You get the quality delivery from Bellata, you get the quality movement around Maya McCutcheon, and then you blend that with a terrific finish and the awareness to drive that ball down to the ground so it bounces. Those are those fine margins that teams will talk about throughout a whole season. You can look back at 3 points, you can look back at drop points, and those plays that seemed maybe insignificant in the moment spill themselves out into collecting 3 points. And I mean in the build-up play to that corner, because a lot of that momentum was early on in that first half. They were pushing Brooklyn into their own defensive third. They were creating those corner kicks. They were driving at that end line. They were challenging Brooklyn in a variety of different ways. And that corner kick was a benefit to all of that. And then you meet that with quality runs.
So Bree Norris up and moving. Lucy Shepard collects the ball from Amber Brooks, and she'll take it to the corner. Tradition.
And this is a Dallas Trinity side that is going to get very accustomed to being on the road coming up. So this 2-game home stretch to open up the season, picking up all 6 points, was probably not necessarily discussed because it is early on. You do want to see your team challenge themselves to manage matches, see them out when you have a 1-goal lead. But when you see the road trip that they have coming up, starting off the season with 6 points, it's definitely beneficial.
Yep, Dallas's next home match won't come until October 18th. They play the next 5 games on the road at Sporting Jacks, at Fort Lauderdale, at Tampa Bay, at Lexington, at Spokane. They're going to be getting their airline miles in the next few weeks. And yellow shown to Mylena Freitas in the 93rd minute. I think it's safe to say that Brooklyn will continue to lead the league in yellow cards.
I was about to say the same thing. They have continued that trend from week 1, and And it's clearly a part of their identity, and not in a malicious way, in a way of, this is the type of team that you're going to have to play against week in and week out. We are going to get into tackles. We are going to disrupt play. We are going to make it very difficult.
Wisner lofts it over the top. Kelly tried to keep it in. She does. Lucy Shepard will take it to the corner once again. Minimum of 6 minutes of stoppage time was added to this second half. So we are in the 94th minute. Quite a bit of stoppage time today, but again, it goes back to how stop and go this game has been. There really has been no rhythm in the second half, just with the sheer number of fouls, yellow cards. Hasn't allowed for much continuity. Caroline Kelly.
Yeah, especially in the second half, that saw Dallas Trinity meet Brooklyn FC in that disruptive play. You didn't see a lot of it in the first half, obviously conceding some fouls to minimize and negate some of the progress they were making in transition, but they have been selective and measured with the times that they've wanted to slow Brooklyn down.
Markovic down in the corner, but able to get up. Brooklyn continues to work into the late moments of this game as they earn themselves a corner kick. Brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank. After this match, Brooklyn will thankfully return home, where they saw success picking up their first win at Maimonides Park last weekend. They'll play Spokane Zephyr on the 3rd. Ball played in, headed out by Dallas. Kroger collects and recycles. A number of Brooklyn players on that back post. Waved offside. Riley Foster has kept this back line in check tonight for Dallas Trinity. Seventh minute now at the Cotton Bowl. Dallas Trinity holds on to that 1-0 lead, courtesy of a Maya McCutcheon goal in the 13th minute. Brooklyn has just been unable to break down that defense tonight. Couple of moments. Brooklyn turns it over. Lucy Shepard looks for Thornton. Goal. Plays it forward. It's out of bounds. Brooklyn's gonna try and do all they can in the final moments. Lewis. Pringle plays it in, backside, headed out by Dallas. And that will do it. Dallas Trinity picks up their second win at home. Off to a great start in week 2. It was Maya McCutcheon, that goal holding strong from the 13th minute. What do you make of this one tonight, Eric?
Definitely not the complete performance that Chris Petroselli and his group were looking for, but it was the performance that got them 3 points. And I think that is of the utmost importance for them, especially early on the season, especially when you're looking to grow, develop, stack performances. When you can pick up 3 points and you feel like there's still a lot of room for growth and a lot of room to continue to build on that identity. I mean, as a coach, I would always love to pick up points and wins and still have those learning experiences, and that's something for Dallas Trinity that they're going to look at this match. They're going to look at the early start they had, and obviously they scored that goal early, which is terrific. How do you sustain that? How do you now play this game on your terms, at your tempo? And how do you do that for 90 minutes in both boxes? Now, they made plays when they were there to be made, and credit to Dallas Trinity. And for Brooklyn, they're just going to look at some of those fine-tuning, some of those final moments in the final third. They did well, commitment defensively, disruptive. But how do you now find that quality in the attacking half?
Chris Petroselli told us heading into this one, he knew tonight would be a big challenge, but they walk away the winners in this one. And it was a big win for this Dallas team in terms of what they have coming next. Eric, you talked about it. They go on the road. Their next home match is not until October 18th. It was really important for this Dallas side to walk away with as many points as they possibly could at home, and they did so.
And they've played 2 matches, and both matches have looked different. The match at home against Spokane, they go down early, and they're the team that has to build into the match, and then they take that momentum into the halftime break, score early in the second half, and then continue to push to find that second goal and game winner in that match 1. And then here, scored early and saw this match out.
So a big win at home for Dallas Trinity, and we're joined now by the goalkeeper, Riley Foster. Riley, thanks for making the time for us. First off, congratulations on the second win at home, but more importantly, congratulations on your first shutout of the season. What do you make of tonight's outing?
No, that wasn't up to me, that shutout. Honestly, that was a team performance, and to come here with the way that they played against us, it was absolutely chaotic, but for the girls to be resilient and to put up a good fight, that's the clean sheet for the team, not just for me.
Riley, especially here early on in the season, how much confidence does this group take away from a result like this, where you really do just grind out a tough result against the Brooklyn side?
Yeah, I think playing this Brooklyn side today was really important. I mean, last week they just beat the reigning champs of the league. So to get a result against these guys at home is very important for us, and to carry that confidence into the next string of games as we're on the road, and we hit all the Florida teams now. So I think we can take that confidence, but there's a lot of learnings that we can also take from this game and just keep applying it each game ahead.
You mentioned those upcoming road games. You have 5 now. You don't return home until October 18th. How big was this game in terms of momentum moving forward and being able to pick up all 6 points in these first 2 games as you look ahead to this tough road stretch?
I think it's obvious that winning at home is super important, especially in a league like this where there's quite a few distant games and we're on the road a lot. So you have to take the 6 points in the first 2 games of the season. It's really, really important. But now all attention focuses on how we can recover and get ready for the games to come. I mean, 6 or 5 games on the bounce is absolutely insane away, but I think this team will be resilient enough to go ahead and take it.
I think so too. Well, Riley, congratulations on the win tonight, and again on the first shutout of the season. Go celebrate this one.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
That's Riley Foster coming up big for this Dallas team tonight. Cameron Lancaster's mom is happy about this win. We'll be back right after this with highlights, stats, and more. This is the Gainbridge Super League on Peacock. back in Dallas. The fireworks are putting on a show as Dallas Trinity picks up their second straight home win at the Cotton Bowl, 1-0 over Brooklyn. Well, it was an exciting one from the jump, and it was all because of Dallas Trinity and their quick start in the 13th minute.
Yeah, this delivery from Bellata and the header from Maya McCutcheon put this ball down, make it impossible for the goalkeeper and the defenders to track it. And this was kind of the story of the second half for Dallas Trinity, the inability to find that breakthrough, but putting themselves in incredibly positive areas. That struck by Celie Strawn, just not enough pace to beat Bree Norris, and then Amber Wisner getting on the end of that free kick, almost catching Bree Norris, kind of creeping forward. And this was the best opportunity. Scarpelli driving at the goal, looking for delivery, but instead Tess Riley Foster and the Caroline Kelly came on and was terrific along this right flank. Got in a number of times. Obviously, you're going to see this miss. She pushes it just wide, but she had a couple chances just before that, very similar. So the way that she was stretching that back line, occupying that wide space, did a lot of positive things for Dallas Trinity tonight.
Definition of a game changer, that is Caroline Kelly. Well, it was a back and forth affair. It was hard to find the flow in this one with the sheer number of fouls, 17 for Brooklyn, 10 for Dallas. The yellow cards continue to add up for Brooklyn. What do you make of this?
You look at the possession numbers, obviously Brooklyn leading in the possession numbers. That was not what we expected coming into this match. So for Dallas Trinity, how do they carry that into their next match in terms of being able to carry the number purposefully and break teams down? And then obviously the yellow cards, 7 yellow cards for Brooklyn, 1 for Dallas Trinity. I think they're going to continue to lead in that stat after week 2.
I think it is safe to say that they will lead the league in yellow cards and fouls after this one. Well, it was a fun one from Dallas tonight. The fans were excited. They were having a great time. And Dallas Trinity, they showed out, picking up another 3 points at home, which was crucial for them as they look to 5 away games coming up next. From our producer, Zach Macer, my partner, Eric Dobransky, I'm Bridget Howard. See you later.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.